Let's sit with this for a second. The moment you see her as a prize, you become a beggar. And that energy, that shift in power, that quiet voice in your head whispering, maybe if I just do more, she'll love me. That's the very thing that makes her pull away. But you don't see it at first, because all your life you've been fed this narrative: chase her, impress her, prove to her that you're a good man, a man worth keeping. And you try. God, you try. You open doors, you plan thoughtful dates, you send sweet messages, you tell her you care, and none of that is wrong. None of that is inherently weak. But the place it's coming from, that's what matters. Because if all of that is rooted in fear, the fear of losing her, the fear of being alone, the fear of being unseen, then it's not love, it's not confidence, it's self-abandonment. And here's the hardest truth you'll have to face: love that is built on fear can never feel safe for either of you. You start showing up as a version of yourself that isn't even real anymore. You start hiding parts of yourself that feel too much, or too emotional, or too inconvenient. You tiptoe around your own needs so she'll feel more comfortable. And in the process, you teach her that your needs don't matter. But here's the thing: you don't need to win a woman, you need to reveal yourself. You are not a contestant in a game show. You are not standing on some emotional auction block, hoping to get chosen. You are a man, and a man is not a beggar. That might feel harsh, it might even sting, but that sting, that's your soul waking up. That's your spirit remembering who the hell you are. You are not chasing a trophy. You are not trying to convince her you're good enough. You are enough. And the moment you stop trying to convince anyone of that is the moment you start living from it. Do you know what it feels like to walk into a room without trying to be liked? To sit across from a woman and know, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to connect. And if there's no connection, I'll walk away with my dignity intact. That's what real masculinity feels like. That's what it means to stand tall, even when your heart is open. Because here's the paradox: when you stop needing her to see your worth, that's when she finally can. The women who are meant for you, the women who are emotionally available, mature, loving, they don't want to be chased. They want to be seen. And they want you to be seen too. Not the version of you that hides behind people pleasing. Not the version that sends 10 texts and panics when she doesn't reply. They want the version of you that knows his own value, even when no one's clapping. It's not about arrogance. It's not about being alpha or dominant or loud. It's about presence, quiet, powerful, rooted presence. A woman doesn't want a man who can buy her things. She wants a man who knows who he is, who walks with purpose, who can lead without forcing, who listens without losing himself. And the only way to become that man is to stop begging. Stop begging for her attention. Stop begging for her affection. Stop begging for her to choose you. Because the moment you stop begging, you start becoming. And when you become, you no longer need to chase anyone. You attract who's meant to walk with you, and you let go of who isn't. One of the most misunderstood qualities of masculine energy is stillness, not silence, not passivity, not avoidance. Stillness. There's this false idea floating around that the more you do, the more she'll want you. That effort equals attraction. That if you just try hard enough, she'll finally see you. And so you move, you call, you plan, you initiate every text, every conversation. You become the engine, pushing, pursuing, propelling the relationship forward. But let me tell you something deeply important: movement born from fear is not masculine. It's anxious, it's chaotic, it's draining. Masculine energy is not frantic, it's grounded, it's composed, it's deliberate. Think about the image of a mountain, immovable, solid. There's no rush in a mountain, no need to chase the clouds, no desperation to be seen. And yet the clouds circle it, the wind dances around it. Life is drawn to it because the mountain doesn't seek validation. It already knows what it is. That's what women feel when they meet a man who is rooted in stillness. Not because he's indifferent, but because he knows that his value isn't proven through noise. It's revealed through presence. Stillness is what creates space for her to move toward you. But most men never give her that space. They fill every gap with action, with checking in, following up, asking how she feels, over-communicating, giving too much too soon. And then they wonder why she pulls back. It's not because she doesn't like you. It's because you never gave her the room to miss you, to desire you, to come forward on her own. There is something profoundly attractive about a man who doesn't rush, a man who can sit in uncertainty without needing to control it, who can stay calm even when emotions get loud. That kind of man makes her feel safe. And safety is the gateway to feminine surrender. Not domination, not manipulation, not control, safety. When a woman feels your stillness, your emotional self-possession, something opens in her. And it's not logical, it's felt, it's primal. She doesn't say, oh, he's not texting me every 5 minutes, he must be valuable. No, she feels something in her nervous system. She feels the depth of you, the power of your restraint, the confidence in your pause. Because here's what stillness actually communicates. I don't chase because I am enough. I don't beg because I trust my energy to draw on what's right. I don't force Because I have nothing to prove. Now let's be clear, stillness doesn't mean inaction. You can pursue with intention. You can show up. You can express interest. But once you've opened the door, you don't chase her through the hallway. You let her walk through it, or not. And if she doesn't, you don't collapse. You don't spiral. You don't lose yourself. You stand. You stay still. And you let what isn't meant fall away without needing to fix it. The most magnetic men are not the loudest in the room. They are not the ones talking the most, trying the hardest. They're the ones who are fully there, who look you in the eyes without flinching, who don't rush to fill every silence. Stillness is a language. And when you learn how to speak it, you realize something incredible. You don't have to do more to be loved. You have to be more present, because presence is power, and women, emotionally intelligent, mature women, can feel the difference between a man who moves out of insecurity and a man who moves from truth. So let her feel your truth. Let her feel your calm. Let her feel your stillness. Because when she does, she will come to you. Not because you chased her, but because she sensed something rare. A man who leads with presence. A man who waits without fear. A man who doesn't move unless it's real. Let's talk about something uncomfortable, something raw. The truth is, most of what you call a romantic pursuit is just fear in disguise. I know that's hard to hear. You think you're being loving, attentive, devoted, but deep down, in the parts of you rarely look at, there's a little boy who is terrified of being abandoned. And so you chase, not because you're confident, but because you're scared. You're scared she'll lose interest if you don't stay on her radar. You're scared if you don't prove your worth, she'll find someone who will. You're scared that if you stop chasing, she'll forget you. And worst of all, you're scared that her silence means something about your value. But here's the reality, the chase is not about her. It's about you. It's about your unhealed wounds, your insecurities, your hunger to be enough. You don't want her attention, you want her approval. You want her to reflect back to you that you're lovable, that you're worthy, that you're finally seen. And in doing that, you hand her power she never even asked for. You make her the mirror for your self-worth. That's not love. That's self-abandonment. That's emotional codependency. That's what happens when you don't know your own value. You go out into the world begging people to tell you what you should already know inside. And it's tragic. Because you have no idea how many men, good, genuine, deeply feeling men, destroy their dignity just trying to be seen. They send the second and third and fourth texts. They apologize for being themselves. They stay in conversations where they're not being met, not because they enjoy it, but because some connection feels better than no connection at all. That's not strength. That's desperation. And let me tell you something that's going to hurt before it heals. Desperation kills attraction. It doesn't matter how much you care. If she can feel that you're chasing her because you need her to tell you you're enough, she will pull away. Not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. Because something in her body registers your energy as unsafe. Not dangerous, but emotionally heavy. And no woman wants to carry a man who cannot stand on his own. Here's what you need to understand. You can't outrun your insecurity by proving your worth to someone else. No amount of chasing will heal the part of you that doesn't believe he's good enough. That part doesn't need more effort. It needs more truth. It needs you to stop running. It needs you to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not going to keep begging people to love me. I'm going to start loving myself enough to stop chasing what doesn't chase me back. Do you know how powerful that is? To want someone and not need them. To offer connection without abandoning yourself. To say, I'd love for you to be in my life, but I won't fight for a place in yours if you don't want to make room. That's real masculinity. That's emotional leadership. That's the difference between craving attention and commanding respect. So stop chasing, stop texting just to get a reaction. Stop reaching out just to feel connected. Stop bending to earn a place in her world. And start asking yourself, why am I trying so hard to be seen by someone who doesn't even value me the way I value them? Start listening to the quiet voice inside you that's been trying to say for years, you are enough. But you're acting like you're not. The moment you stop chasing, something shifts. You start coming back to yourself. You start choosing peace over pursuit. You start letting go of the need to be needed. And maybe, just maybe, she'll feel the shift too. She'll sense that you're no longer reaching out of fear. She'll feel the weight of your absence. And she'll start wondering why the man who used to chase her now stands still. But whether she comes back or not, you win. Because you found yourself. And no woman, no love, no attention, no validation is worth losing him again. There's something most men don't realize until they've been heartbroken, ghosted, or emotionally used one too many times. And it's this emotional availability is not about what she says, it's about what she does. See, a lot of women will tell you what you want to hear. They'll say they're interested. They'll flirt back. They'll enjoy the attention. They'll let you take them out, listen to your feelings, give you just enough to keep you hanging on. But do they move towards you? Do they initiate? Do they check in? Do they make effort? Do they make space for you the same way you're making space for them? Because if she's not moving toward you, she's not emotionally available. Period. This is where so many men, especially emotionally generous, loyal, patient men, get stuck. They confuse potential with reality. They mistake mixed signals for mystery. They stay hoping things will change, hoping she'll come around, hoping if they just stay steady enough, loyal enough, present enough, she'll finally reciprocate. But the truth, a woman who wants to be close to you doesn't need to be convinced. She doesn't keep you in a guessing game. She doesn't enjoy your presence but avoid your depth. If she wants to be with you, she will make it clear, not in words, in actions. Because emotionally available women don't play hot and cold. They don't breadcrumb you. They don't keep you close enough to feel something but far enough that you're never secure. That's not love. That's emotional confusion, and it often means she doesn't even know what she wants. And you, the man who wants depth, who wants something real, you have to stop settling for half-hearted connection just because you're afraid to walk away. You're not weak for wanting her. You're not broken for feeling hurt when she withdraws, but you are responsible for your choices. And every time you stay in something one-sided, every time you excuse her avoidance because she's just been through a lot, every time you silence your needs because you don't want to scare her off, you are telling yourself, I don't believe I deserve someone who chooses me back. Oh, and brother, that's a lie. You do deserve that, but you will never receive it if you keep investing your time, your love, your soul into someone who won't even meet you halfway. Let me be even more honest with you. If she's not texting you back unless you text first, if she says she's not ready for anything serious but still keeps you around, if she disappears for days and comes back when it's convenient, she is not emotionally available. And her unavailability is not your problem to fix. You are not her therapist. You are not her savior. You are not the man who's supposed to unlock her heart. You are the man who is meant to be met. Not managed, not tolerated, met. And emotional maturity, real love, only happens when two people are moving toward each other with clarity and consistency. Not one doing all the work while the other hides behind their wounds. I know letting go is painful. I know silence from someone you care about feels like abandonment. I know it can feel easier to stay in the fantasy of what she could be than to face the reality of what she's not. But there is freedom on the other side of honesty. And the truth is this, you will never be truly loved by someone who isn't emotionally capable of giving love. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. So if she's not moving toward you, stop moving toward her. Stop reaching. Stop chasing. Stop explaining. Stop holding space for someone who has no intention of showing up. Let her go. Not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. Because when you release what isn't real, you make room for what is. And there are women who will move toward you with the same fire, the same softness, the same desire you've been offering all along. But they'll never find you if you're still sitting in the shadows, waiting for someone else to turn around. Get up. Walk forward. Let the emotionally unavailable fall away. And when the right woman sees you standing in your worth, she will come to you. There's a kind of man a woman never forgets. Not the one who bought her the most gifts. Not the one who said all the right things. Not even the one who made her laugh the most. It's the man who walked away, not out of ego, but out of honor, out of self-respect. Out of a deep knowing that love cannot exist where dignity is being eroded. See, most men are afraid to leave. They tolerate mixed signals, emotional neglect, and one-sided effort because deep down, they believe staying makes them loyal. But let me tell you something that will change the way you look at love. Staying where you're not respected isn't loyalty. It's self-abandonment. And women feel it. Whether they say it or not, they feel it. When you let her push your boundaries and you don't speak up. When you ignore her distance and keep overgiving just to be kept. When you excuse her coldness, her unavailability, her emotional chaos, hoping she'll see your heart and finally treat you better. She doesn't admire it. She loses respect. Because even if she's not ready to love you, even if she's unsure, confused, or hurting, she knows when a man is choosing her over himself. And the moment she sees that, something shifts. Your value in her eyes begins to fall. Not because you're not worthy, but because you stopped acting like you were. Respect doesn't come from effort. It comes from standards. And you teach a woman how to treat you by what you tolerate. Now here's where it gets even deeper. You might think walking away means you're giving up. But it's the opposite. You're giving her the gift of truth. You're showing her, I care about you, but I care about myself too. And that kind of strength, that kind of calm, grounded, unapologetic self-respect is unforgettable because most men fold. They beg, they over-explain, they keep showing up in places they're no longer wanted, hoping that their presence will spark some kind of awakening. But a man who can look a woman in the eyes and say, I love you, but this doesn't honor me, that man is rare, and rarity creates reverence. You don't have to scream, you don't have to shame her, you don't have to prove anything, you just walk. You walk with your head high and your spirit intact. You walk away from confusion, from emotional breadcrumbs, from relationships that feel more like tests than rest. And in doing that, you reclaim the power you didn't even realize you gave away. Because you need to understand something fundamental about attraction. What a woman respects in a man is more powerful than what she likes. She might like your humor, your body, your ambition. But if she doesn't respect you, if she doesn't feel that spine, that clarity, that masculine boundary, she will not follow your lead. And you cannot build love with someone who does not follow your emotional leadership. So yes, walk away, not to manipulate her, not to get her chasing, not as some cheap dating tactic, but because the version of you who accepts breadcrumbs is not the version of you that builds a kingdom. And the woman who is meant for you, the one who sees your heart, your soul, your fire, will never make you beg to be chosen. She'll choose you back freely, consistently, willingly. And if she doesn't, let her go with grace. Let her remember you not as the man who clung, but the man who stood, the man who knew what he brought to the table and wasn't afraid to eat alone. Because here's the thing, when you walk away with your dignity intact, she may not say it, but she feels it. She feels the weight of your absence. She feels the silence that used to be filled by your steady presence. And whether she comes back or not, she remembers the day you stopped accepting less than you deserve. That is the day she saw the real man in you, the one she couldn't control, the one she couldn't manipulate, the one who led with honor and walked away when it was no longer mutual. And that man is respected. Long after the love fades, long after the feelings pass, he is remembered because he remembered himself. At some point you get tired, not physically, emotionally. Tired of guessing, of trying, of twisting yourself into something palatable just to be loved. You get tired of being the one who texts first. Tired of being emotionally open, only to be met with silence or confusion. Tired of carrying the relationship while she decides if she's ready. And in that quiet exhaustion, a deeper truth emerges. Love isn't supposed to feel like a fight for your worth. Because when it's right, when it's real, it feels safe. And not in a boring way, in a grounding way. The right woman doesn't leave you anxious, checking your phone, questioning your value every time she pulls away. She doesn't play games. She doesn't disappear to test your patience. She doesn't keep you guessing to feel powerful. The right woman makes it easy to be a man. And I don't mean easy in the sense that you never disagree. I mean easy in the sense that you don't feel like you have to prove your masculinity just to be received. You don't feel like you're constantly auditioning for the role of worthy partner. With the right woman, you don't have to shrink your emotionality. You don't have to harden your heart to keep her interested. You don't have to chase her attention like it's a reward for being good enough. She sees you, the quiet parts, the strong parts, the messy, tired, doubting parts, and she meets you with softness, with steadiness, with clarity. And in that moment, that deeply healing moment, you finally understand you were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong woman. Because with the right woman, your effort feels matched. She wants to understand your mind, not just be entertained by your presence. She respects your emotional leadership, not just your ability to provide. She doesn't punish you for your vulnerability. She welcomes it. And maybe for the first time in your life, you feel like you can breathe. You feel like you don't have to be on all the time. You feel like you can rest in love, not wrestle for it. And the irony is, the moment you stop chasing unavailable women, the moment you stop pouring yourself out to be chosen, the moment you stop trying to fix, change, or impress someone into loving you, that's when you become magnetic to someone who actually sees you. Because a grounded woman, a woman who has done her own healing, doesn't need you to entertain her pain. She wants your peace. She wants your truth. She wants your presence. And she makes you want to be a better man,